Hi viewers, those who are seeing the video for the first time, please like, share and subscribe. Today the topic that is been presented is the acid bases and the salts. Acid bases and the salts. What is meant by acid and what are the bases and what are the salt compounds. For the in this one, the first, if you take in your household, if you take any lemon, salts and vinegar or any substances, in this one different substances containing different taste and different will form into a different forms. First we will see the acid and next we will see the base and then the salt compounds. In this one, the first one that is an acid. If you take curd, lemon juice or which are being tasted in the sour form, if you taste they are being sour, and the main acidic nature is if any substances that taste like a sour, that is an acidic substances. How you can identify which is an base? Base means which you take is baking soda, which is bitter in taste and soapy in nature. If you touch a soap, it will be slippery in form, that is sloppy in nature. That is why it is a character. The base is a substance which are soapy in nature and bitter in taste. These are called as bases. How you can identify whether a substance is an acid or acid substances or basic substances? Few indicators are being presented to identify whether a compound is an acid, whether a compound is a base. In a detailed way, we can find what are the indicators that are being seen. Some of the acidic substances and some of the basic substances that we will see. Acetic acid that is been presented in vinegar, formic acid which are being presented in the ant sting. That means if a ant will be bite, you will have some rubbing sensation. No, that is nothing but an formic acid. And citric acid which is been presented in the citrus fruit, and the lactic acid that is been presented in the curd. Every day you will eat the curd, no, which is been very useful for the constipation. Those who have been suffering from the constipation, the lactic acid is been very useful for free motion. That is why every day you drink or eat the curd which containing lactic acid. Oxalic acid, spinach, whereas mean ascorbic acid, amla. The amla, you know, there any citrus fruit which is been consisting of an aspartic acid which is an vitamin C, tartaric acid, tamarind, chantapandu, and grapes and unripe mango. These all are been presented in the tartaric acid. And some of the basic substances, calcium hydroxide which is been presented in the lime water, ammonium hydroxide which is been presented in the window cleaner. The windows that are been cleaned now, there are been presented with ammonic hydroxide, sodium hydroxide which is been presented in the soap, magnesium hydroxide which are been presented in the milk of magnesia. These are the few acidic substances and the basic substances. Now you will see the few indicators how if any acid or base to be identified, indicator must be presented. And some of the indicators that are turmeric and litmus and China rose, these are the best indicators to identify whether a substance is an acid or a base. Whether a substance is an acid or a base, indicator must be important, are very essential for identifying which is acid and which is the base. Now you will see about the natural indicators. The most common natural indicators, that is litmus paper. The litmus paper which is been extracted from the lichens, and in your next classes you can learn about what is the lichens, what is how it is being formed, and now simple I will tell what are the lichens means the algae and the fungi formations. The algae and the fungi forms which forms into lichens. That is a best example lichens. These light chains are the best example for the natural indicators. What is how these light chains are being useful as natural indicators? For example, you take acid. If you pour an acid substances, it will turn into the red color. Whole substance will be turned into the red color, or if it is been presented with the base, it can be turned into the blue color. How these lichens are the litmus paper is been presented. This litmus paper can be presented in the form of a solution type, or it can be presented in the form of a paper type. One side it will be in the red color and another side it will be in the blue color. If you pour the acid solution on this litmus paper, the whole paper will be turned into the red color, and if it will be poured into the basic solution, it will be whole paper will be turned into the blue color. This is the best example for the natural indicator. Up to now you have been learned about the acid bases, and the next one is neutral substance. How the neutral substance is been formed, what are the properties? A neutral substances means it cannot be formed into either acid or base. How? What is that? For example, if you take a litmus paper or any indicators, if you put it into that one, it will not change either into the red color, that is meant by that is acid, or it cannot be changed into a base, that cannot be formed into a blue color, that is an neutral substance. Neutral substances, for example, you can take how these neutral substances has been formed, and what is the neutralization. The neutral substances, how that means, if you take an acid, example HCl, and if you take a base, example NaOH. If HCl is been combined with NaOH, HCl plus OH, which will be formed into a water H2O, whereas been Na, sodium and chlorine, which is been combined to form into an NaCl, and like this the neutral substance is been formed, which is called as a salt NaCl, and heat is been evolved. This is how the neutralization process takes place, and the neutral substance is been formed, and this neutral substance is been very useful for the evolution of sodium chloride, that you all are been very useful. That is why this is what the acid, base, neutral substances are been formed. And the small recap for all the up to now what have been told in the acid, bases and the salts. What is an acid and what is a base and what are the neutral substances? Acid, which will be turned into a red color with the help of the litmus paper or any natural indicator or any indicator, whereas being base, which will be turned into a blue color with the help of an indicator, and whereas been neutral substances which cannot be formed into either into the red color or either into the blue color. This is the, and what are the examples of an acids? Examples of an acids, previously I told citrus acid, turmeric, acetic acid, and formic acid. These are all are acids. What are the basic acids? Basic substances. Basic substances. What are the basic substances? The basic substances which converted into a blue color. Examples you have already learned about, which is been baking soda and caustic soda. These all are been basic substances that are been presented, and the neutral compounds which does not have any change in the color. Best example which is sodium chloride. This is what the acidic, basic and neutral substances. Thanking you for seeing this video. Those who have been seeing this video for the first time, please like, share and subscribe, and by this sharing, and we can do more videos about the subject related also. Thanking you.